La la! We're back. It's been so long. It has been so long. I totally overcommitted myself to doing these and I was like, we're gonna do one a month. And then life just totally got in the way and I just have been putting my energy into so many other things and have been focusing a lot on creating so much other knowledge-based things for you guys that this just didn't become a priority. And I want to get back into them because I was watching my last videos a couple of nights ago and I was like, wait a minute, this is so cool, like I want to do those again. So I want to update you guys because the last couple of months I have been spending a lot of time creating this kind of like knowledge base for you guys to access when you're on this I don't want to say journey, when you're learning to build your self-awareness and your understanding of your authentic self, this awareness around your development, around your truth, around who you truly are when you're in your authenticity. I want to create this space for you guys to access this knowledge and access all this information about how to guide yourself through those steps. And I know I've said this so many times in previous videos, but it's always good to reiterate for anyone new here or in case anybody's forgotten as well. My goal is to just like create this space where people can access all of this knowledge around creating self-awareness, going through self-development, what it means to be in your authenticity, what it means to access your true individuality, and all the things that go along with that as well, like understanding self-worth, understanding your value, understanding how to be confident, understanding self-love practices and what it feels like to feel loved internally and fulfilled internally, what it feels like to receive in your feminine energy and be in that state of receiving energy. And the reason why I want to create all of these and talk about all of these topics is because I feel like there's such a huge lack in knowledge around this area. There's such a huge lack in awareness and conversations around this area. And I know there are so many people that experience these things but we don't speak about it, and it's so crazy to me that people don't speak about it, because if it's such a common topic, common experience that people go through, why the hell are we not speaking about it? It just doesn't make sense in my mind. So anyway, the last couple of months what I've been working on is creating workshops for you guys to use to guide yourself through this process, to guide yourself through this process of building this awareness with yourself. And so the first workshop we did was on building a connection with your authentic self. And that's always the starting point. That's always the starting point that I guide people to start at, because it's all well and good to like learn about self-worth and learn about self-confidence and learn about self-love. But if you don't know what you're trying to prove, who you're trying to prove is worthy, and who you're trying to be confident in, and who you're trying to show self-love to, then you can't do that. So you need to understand who you truly are and create this connection with your authentic self and build this kind of connection point for you to come back to. So I've also been doing one-on-one coaching sessions with people going through this process in depth, and this is where we do sessions to really pinpoint what's going on a subconscious level and work with different belief systems and work with different self-concepts that people have about themselves. And these one-on-one sessions are time where people come and we go through this very supportive process of essentially just questioning what is going on for them. It's not like a why are you doing this, why are you this type of person questioning. It's more so like an exploration of who you are, like just an inquiry as to what's going on in your mind and why are you feeling that way, and is that actually the truth for you, and is that something that you want to carry forwards in your life? And if it's not, we work on recreating that thought pattern and recreating that belief so it opens up the door for you to access what you truly want to access in your life. So these one-on-one sessions are also really beautiful to work through. And I think that's it. It has been a lot. There's been a lot of really beautiful experiences, and I just want to continue to grow this knowledge base, to grow this kind of area of expertise. And the more that I learn about different people's perspectives, and the more that I learn about different people's understandings of their experience through this developmental stage of creating awareness, the more that I'm able to learn about how to bring this knowledge to people and how to create this space for people to access in a way that aligns with them as an individual person and allows them to create their own desires in a way that feels like it's fulfilling to them as an individual. So that stuff all aside, today I want to talk about self-confidence. And this is something that I've been working on for maybe like 3 years within myself, but very, very deeply within the last 6 months, because it's something that I truly, truly thought when I was younger that some people were confident, some people were just born confident, and some people were not born confident. I thought it was like you either had blue eyes or you had brown eyes. Like you either had confidence or you didn't have confidence. And looking back on that now, I think that's so funny and cute to think about. But when I learned that self-confidence was something you could actually teach yourself, and it was like a skill that you could learn, like learning how to ride a bike, I was like, hold on. Hold on a second, pause the movie. What did you say? I want to learn how to do that. I want to learn how to be confident. And so I did, because I'm the type of person who, when I hear something and I don't fully understand it on like an energetics level, like I don't understand the experience energetically, I can't connect to that, I dive really, really deep into it and try and understand everything that I can about it and try and integrate that into my life. And that's exactly what I did with self-confidence, because I noticed myself holding myself back in so many instances because I was not confident in who I was, and I didn't have this confident understanding of who I was. So I was trying to present this like personality which I'd curated to be in situations because I was thinking that was the perfect type of person to be in this situation. I wasn't actually just presenting as myself. When it came to learning about confidence, and when it came to understanding how to be confident, whether it's like being confident in your personality, being confident in your appearance, being confident in your opinions and your interests, being confident in your skills and your knowledge and your ability to do things and be successful, I realized that all of these things boiled down to this one concept of being confident in the truth of who you are, and being confident in who you truly are to your core, your authenticity, the truth of who you are, the untouched core person that you actually are. And all of these things, like your interests and your ideas and your opinions, your personality, your appearance, are all just expressions of who you truly are, of your authentic self. And I talk about this in my previous video, in my authentic self video, where I talk about this authentic self that we have is the purest version of who we are, the essence of who we are. I like to call it your soul or your essence, but you may call it something else, and that's totally fine. But all of these things, like our interests and our opinions, are just ways that we can express our authenticity. And so when I was learning about confidence, I really had to start questioning myself, because I needed to understand who this authentic self was. I needed to understand who this person was, because like I said before, you can't be confident in something if you don't know what that something is. And I said this analogy once in one of my videos that's quite funny. Trying to be confident in yourself without knowing who you actually are is like me telling you to draw an elephant and you've never even seen an elephant before. You have no idea what an elephant is. So you end up drawing some weird squiggle or something that you may think resembles an elephant, because you're trying to conceptualize something that you don't even know what it is, because you never even taken the time to understand that it exists. So when you're learning to be confident, the biggest thing I learned was you have to be able to be vulnerable and open and understanding and accepting of who you truly are, of your authenticity. And I think that word accepting is very, very key in all of this, because you need to feel like this authentic self, the person that you are, is safe enough to be seen and loved in the world, is safe enough to be accepted in the world. And if you don't feel like you can accept this person, you're not going to feel comfortable showing up as that person in the world. Regardless of how other people treat you, if you're not accepting of yourself and loving and kind and compassionate towards yourself, it doesn't matter what other people are showing you, because you're still going to feel that non-acceptance. You're still going to feel that criticism towards yourself. So the greatest thing that I did when I was learning to build this acceptance around myself and learning to understand who this person was I started to just spend so much time by myself. I just started to spend so much time with just myself and just learn about who this person was, outside of all of these like external situations and external people that I felt like they had these extra requirements of me to be a certain way. So the greatest thing that I did when I was learning how to be this authentic self, learning how to build this acceptance within myself, was I just started to spend so much time with myself. I truly just spent so much time getting to know who I was, getting to know all of these different parts of the expressions about who I was, my different personality traits, my different interests, my different opinions, my different skills and knowledge that I had available to me. I would just spend so much time understanding who I truly was. And what happens when I started to do that was I started to build this awareness around the individualisticness. Is that a word? Individualisticness? Let's call it a word. Individualisticness of who I was, just that I was like an individual entity, separate to all of these experiences and all these other people that were in and around my life. Because for me personally, I felt so much requirement for me to be certain ways around certain people in order for them to like me and accept me. And that's definitely connected to people pleasing and that type of thing. And that's something that we can go into in a different date. But by spending so much time with myself, outside of these like external people and experiences that I felt like were closing in on me and had this like box around me also, almost. By spending so much time with myself, it allowed me to create this connection to this space of who I was, and allowed me to just explore who that was without any requirements for me to be anything else other than that. The most beautiful thing that happened in this time was just me allowing myself to create this acceptance with myself, me just allowing myself to be truly accepting and loving and compassionate towards who I was, because I was just exploring who that was. I was going to do things. I was going to do like dance lessons. I was going to do artist lessons, learning different languages, just all these different things that I had always wanted to explore in my life, but had held myself back because of certain reasons. I was just like, why not? Why not go and explore who this person is when I'm in this space? Because what happens is you put yourself in this space to learn more about yourself, and this new side of your personality comes through. This new side of who you are, the expression of who you are, comes through, and you may not have even met that person before. You may not have even met this new creative person, this new personality that you are now expressing in this situation. And so eventually, bit by bit, you start to become more confident in your individualisticness, in your individual self. You start to become more confident in your individual self, because you understand all the little parts of your personality, all the little parts of your expression that make you up as a person. And so then you can put yourself in situations, put yourself in social situations where outside influences are still there and still may have an impact on you, but you're grounded and centered in who you are, your individual self is. And that is the most beautiful thing to experience. Being able to experience this sense of love and this sense of acceptance of yourself, of your individual uniqueness, is such a beautiful thing to experience, because you're able to put yourself in so many different situations and continually show up as yourself and continually see what that situation or experience has to offer for this person. You start to truly see how much value you have to offer the world by being your individual self, by being somebody who's so unique, by being somebody who's so individual and so different to other people. And by becoming confident in that person, you're able to show up as that person very easily and put yourself in situations where people may not accept you, people may not like you, people may not even understand you. You may make people feel uncomfortable because you're so confident in your individualisticness. There's that word again. And it's triggering to them because they don't have that connection with their individual self. They don't have that understanding with their individual self. And you're a beacon to them to show them that it's available, to show them that this is possible. And so every experience you go into is more and more confirming to you, confirming to your confidence and this connection with yourself, that this person who you authentically are deserves to be loved and deserves to be seen in the world. And that is such a beautiful thing to understand within yourself. It's such a beautiful thing to understand within yourself, because creating that acceptance is freeing and opens up so many opportunities for you to then explore more about yourself and for you to then explore more about the expression of who you are. That's all I have. That's all I have today. That's it on confidence. Going through this process is truly just learning more about yourself and learning to accept your individual nature, learning to accept your unique identity and being able to show up as that person in every single situation. If I could narrow down everything that I spoke about and what confidence is, that's exactly what I would say it would be. Learning to be confident in your individual self and show up in every single situation as that person. And once you tap into that and once you have access to that person, you have access to absolutely anything. Because when you access this confident self, it kind of like opens a door up to this like universal reality where you are in this state of giving and receiving, giving your energy and receiving your worth back. You open yourself to so many different opportunities that match who you are, for you to explore yourself, for you to explore who you truly are when you're in your authenticity. And it is such an incredibly beautiful experience to experience and go through. So that's all I have today. So you guys, thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something. If you have any questions, always feel free to contact me. And maybe I'll see you next month. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see how we go. But bye. Thank you for being here.